Let's start to have a conversation. Just look into your surrounding and tell me how many individuals you personally know who left Canada without getting a PR. 2? Okay, now, George, can you tell me the understanding level of their about the immigration?
Yeah, the first guy was here in Ottawa. He was working in government in contract basis, and he quit the job when he had work permit almost 8 years remaining.
8 months.
Yeah, 8 months remaining, and he moved to an employer. He paid some of the $12,000 to the employer, and for support for LMIA, and LMIA is not approved. He got abused in the workplace, and he quit Canada 3 months before.
See, now, like I said, PR is possible. I'm not saying the names or anything, but when people approach me at the last moment, still the PR is always possible. My responsibility with always to get you is to write guidance, because like I said, when George approached me, or like most of the people when they approach me, they believe that they will not get a PR. But now, if you are spending a money, what is a guarantee that the process has to be successful? You are spending, like let's say 12,000, 15,000. You know, in that you can, like if a person came after degree, if that amount of money would be added with a 2-year program, he or she would have done a master's. You would have better possibilities there. But those individuals who leave Canada, the one thing which you will notice very common with them is they don't have understanding about the immigration. They got just cheated, like I said, like right now, spending money and it's done. But because of that one particular incident, don't go into depression or believe that, okay, no, you will not get a PR. You need to do your research, talk to immigration firm, talk to your college international office. So every college do have an international office where there are immigration consultants. Go and talk with them. And again, the second thing, go to the CIC, look into the process or pathway if you are interested, and then you can take a consultation with any immigration firm which is licensed. Because now, when you go through a licensed immigration firm, they do have a credibility, they have to maintain the license. I hope they will not do a fraud with you. But still, if you go in a right path, the immigration can be way more simple and way more easy. Okay? Now, let's start with now question and answer session. So please, if anyone have any questions, please scan the QR code and you can able to put that, or should we give a mic? Mic? Yeah, let's give the mic now. So one by one, it will start from one side. If you guys have any doubts or question, you can start asking.
Vishnu, hi.
Yes, hi there.
Yeah, firstly, very nice to see you in person.
Same here.
I was just curious to know about the PGWP language requirements. So I was just wondering, for CELPIP or IELTS, is it individual band? So I graduated from university. I was wondering, is it CLB 7 individual band or is it collectively 7?
Nice question. Can I know your name, please?
Yeah, it's Vignesh.
Vignesh. So hi Vignesh. So very good question. Now most of the people are confused about, okay, what kind of CLB you have to get. So if you are passed out from the university level, if you look into CIC website, it says CLB 7. Okay. But at the same time, if you're going through a IELTS website, it says individual 7. But now when we are looking into 7, CLB 7, technically IELTS it's individual 6. Okay. So think about, when you came to Canada, Vignesh, you might have overall 6.5 and individual 6. Now you study 2 years in Canada. Do you think the CLB 7 is not possible?
I got it.
Done. Okay, so that's good, like I said. But again, don't look for that, okay, no, for this process, I just need to get CLB 6. Why don't we improve? It's a human life, right? So we need to try to look, okay, man, if I had an individual 6 and overall 6.5, so I see a lot of international students comes to me and say that, sir, I passed out from college, but I don't have CLB 5. Now, if you are facing difficulty to get CLB 5, you may not even get a PR. Even though you get a work permit, you will not get a PR. So please, if someone is looking for that answer, I would say try to get at least individual 6 each. That will qualify you for in both the ways. Even if it is overall or even if it is single, you will get qualified with at least if you have an individual 6. Simple. Okay, so one by one the mic when go, I would like to get your name and then you can able to explain me your question. Yeah.
Hi Vishnu, my name is Fleming.
Hi, Flavin.
The question that I have for you is, I particularly work in software industry, like I work for sales and software. So if I work for a New Brunswick or Newfoundland-based company, and if I'm working remote from Ontario, will I still be eligible for RNIP or like Atlantic Immigration?
Okay, nice question. So Febin, right?
Fleming.
Fleming. So yeah, Fleming. So when we are looking into RNIP or AIP kind of a process, the government introduces program so that you, like the immigrant who are moving there, will support the local business, local community, and generate the taxes. So for example, even though your employer is in Atlantic province, if you are in Ontario, unfortunately you will never get qualified into the, you may get endorsement, that is fine, but when you put an AIP application, your application have a very high chance to get refused because you don't have an intent to live in the province. And once again, you worked remotely, so you studied here, you're working from here. If you don't move and you put an application saying that, okay, I will move after the PR, which is usually an excuse, you may face a difficulty either to get your PR, or even after getting the PR, what people believe is, okay, I don't need to move because now I'm a PR. But now it's like agreement, okay? When you're signing that AIP or through a community program, you're giving a agreement with the province that, okay, I'm moving there to that particular province. If you don't move, even though you get a PR, but after that, when you apply for a PR renewal or you apply for citizenship, the Provincial fairness letter will come to you that you did not fulfill the undertaking that you will live in that province. Like I said, you guys might be hearing on social media that, okay, someone is making a reel saying that, okay, I got a PR through PNP, but I moved the province and now I got my PR, I got my citizen. That may be one individual. I know individuals who get Provincial fairness letter when they submit for the PR renewal or citizenship. So yes, answer to your question is, it's better that you move to that province, particular province, then you apply for PNP or AIP, get your PR. After getting the PR through AIP, the loophole is you can move out the province. You don't have to stay there. But if you get a PR through community program or PNP, you do have a community, you do have a commitment to live there for at least 2 years. Right? Next, please.
Hi Vishnu, Thomas here. So
Thomas.
I have actually two questions. One is regarding a Canadian experience and the other one is a foreign experience question. So for the Canadian experience, I'm currently working in a job, but as per the job title, it is more aligned to a tier 4. But based on my job duties and responsibilities, it matches more with a tier 3 category. So I'm confused, if I get a letter from my employer with the same title that I'm working for, but with the knock codes and bracket, will that work for express entry, Canadian experience class?
So 2 questions I have. What's your title?
So title is shipper or material handler, but it is more related to shipping coordinator, 13201.
Okay, so now, nice question. As per the IRPA, Immigration Refugee Protection Act, the knock code is based upon your duties. Your employer can call you anything. But again, when immigration is looking into it, they are looking into what are your duties. So for example, if someone is working as a manager, but the duties say you are doing cleaning, sweeping, mopping, serving coffee, do you think the person is a manager? Okay, so again, for employer, he's a manager, but as per the duties, it's not a. But at the same time, if there's a team member, but he's doing now hiring, reporting, conflict resolution, setting up the payroll. Okay, so answer to your question, title can be anything. If their duties are matching, you can need to include one explanation letter that in my company, they only give this title, but the duties which they make us to do, that fall under the shipping and receiving coordinator. So again, you're good to go with express entry.
Okay, sounds good, thank you. And the other question regarding the foreign work experience is I know that it says the experience should be in one single profession, even if it is any number of years. So I had 2 different jobs, but one was 1 year and the other one was. So my question is, can I include both the experience, or because I think the points for 1 year or 2 year were the same when I try to use the calculator.
Yeah.
So my question is, should I just use just one experience or should I use both because it's going to increase more documents?
Okay, is it for express entry?
Yes.
Okay, now let me just clear something about the express entry, okay? In express entry, you don't need to work in one particular knock code. You can even change 4 different employer, 5 different knock codes. Okay, you can include everything. But again, if you are working in 2 places full time, then you just need to claim point for one thing. Because in express entry, you are getting points for where you have worked for more than 30 hours per week. If you are working in two places, so now, for example, someone is working 15 hours as a PSW and 15 hours as a restaurant manager. The individual can mix both the experiences, which is in the same duration. Because in express entry, you need to have 30 hours per week. You need to work for 52 weeks, which is like 1 year. And with that, you can get 40 points. Third thing, you can get minimum wage also. Wage requirement is not there. Fourth thing, you can have a different time period when you had an experience. So for example, you had an experience in last year from April to September, then you had a 4 months of break, then you started a next job in January to now continuing. You can able to mix that experience. And the most important thing, the knock code, it can be tier 0, 1, 2, 3, and that doesn't need to be in your own profession. So for example, you studied engineering, but right now you're working in a restaurant, totally fine. Got it?
Yeah.
Any other doubt?
So if this experience is in India, should it be in the same job? No.
No. So again, Canada does never say that you have to work in your own profession. The day the Canada will make it clear that, okay, you can only work in your own profession, most of the restaurants, factories will be closed down. Because most of the engineers, nurses, like business background, we come here and we work in the restaurants and factories. So again, Canada never force, I don't think it will be never be forced that you can only work in your own stream. You can work wherever you want. But now the point is, Canada is making a little bit strict with the regulation that, okay, if you are coming here, try to do something which Canada needs. So yeah, you might have done IT engineering back home or IT software kind of studies back home. In Canada, right now, it's already saturated. So if you are coming here and doing an IT job and you're looking forward for IT job, maybe it's very difficult. But now if you change that to AI, or you try to do some IT related, but it's related to the business development or a marketing, it's very easy to get a job, and that will help you with the PR also. So selection of studies and selection of the job is important, but no one pressurizes you that no, you have to. Right now I see that last year CIC tried to do it with that, okay, you have to take these courses for the postgraduate, but I believe it has a positive side. Now at least your agencies will not say that okay, you do some business course and you can get a work permit. You're literally wasting your thousands of dollars. Do something which can get you back a good job and get you the PR. Welcome. Yes, please.
Hi Vishnu, my name is Elizabeth, and I just have a follow-up to the first question that Thomas asked. In terms of, so for the knock codes, you were saying you can give an explanation letter saying this is my title, but these are the duties. Like generally, how do they verify that? What is the process? Like, do they just take your letter for the word, or do you need something more from your employer to substantiate what you're saying?
Okay. So now, documentation is the most important thing whenever it comes to an immigration or any kind of legal pathway. Okay. Now, if I'm getting a case like this, okay, so what I'm trying to do is I will include experience letter, I will include an explanation letter, I will include all the T4s, I will include all the pay stubs. Okay, and there will be a last submission letter which has to be done by a legal representative when they submit an application, where again I will taking that undertaking, I will be explaining to the CIC officer that under the IRPA, the knock code which the particular client is doing, that fulfill the requirement of the knock code, even though title is not matching, which is a company's policy. So this is something which we use usually for even in a case when the employer refused to give a duties. So there are IT firms like EY, there is a national companies are there in India too. They refuse to give a knock code or the duties on the letter. Again, if you are having a genuine employment, we can make an affidavit and we can submit it, and that satisfies the CIC officer. CIC officer is not the enemy or it's not a villain. I just want to request every immigrants out there that they are just doing their job. So for example, if someone is coming to your home, you will expect that, okay, that person follow the etiquettes of the house, right? Same thing, the CIC officer just want that if you are putting an experience, you need to justify that. And the explanation letter will justify that it's a company's policy. But again, the duties will make it clear, and that will get you the PR, the same thing.
So what you're saying is basically you need something additional, like, because you need to convince them, right? So just saying that is not enough.
No.
You need, and you may not get that from your employer, though.
Yeah, but again, he can put it. So he can do self-attestation.
So You mean an affidavit or something
Yeah.
like that on his own?
So he can do by his own, he can submit it. It's a very common thing. So I have seen this kind of scenario before also in McDonald's. So in McDonald's, there was no team member, like there was no team lead kind of position. If I'm talking about more than 5 years ago, okay? There was only team member, but when the team member worked there for around 9 to 12 months, they give a extra title, but it will be remain as a team member only. But the person used to train, supervise the new employees. So that makes us as a food service supervisor, even though the title is team member. Later on, McDonald's introduced that team lead position. So it's very common. And same thing, line cook. So if you look into a NOC code, there is no line cook. From 2021 onwards, there is no line cook in anywhere. There is cook. But if you are even working as a line cook, you get duties as per the cook, you are good to go. But like I said, most of us who's working and submitting a PR application, they might be a line cook. So it's very common thing. That title is not matching with NOC code, but duties, good to go. But with cook title, we don't even give an explanation. The line cook, we have thousands of approval, where even the person is working as a chef or cook, we just select the NOC code. We don't even include any kind of explanation. But in your case, it's very significant because it's mentioned shipping and receiver. Yeah. And you're working as a coordinator, just give an explanation. Yes,
Hello, my name is Johnson, and I'm just asking a general question. If anybody wants to learn the language, French language, how will it help the person, the applicant, in terms of augmenting the chance of getting immigration? Can you explain that?
Yes.
So, yeah, because I believe that will be very useful to
Yes.
various
Very good question, sir. Language, okay? So first of all, how many individuals are here who already clear their IELTS or CELPIP or PT and sitting on CLB 9? CLB 9. Raise your hand. Okay? Yeah. 2. Okay? Abin is there. Okay? Yeah, yeah. So like the basic thing what I want to tell from this question is, whenever you learn a language, okay, it's good thing. But think about, you reach to CLB 9, how many years you prepared for yourself? From childhood, you are learning English, right? Now, when we are looking into international students, okay, so we come from, for example, South India, we may know 2 languages, Malayalam and Tamil mostly. We may know English also. But when you're coming here, just simple question to every international students, how much time you get in one day for yourself? Yourself, like again, you are not doing anything, you're just taking care of yourself. Any international students want to tell the answer? How much time you get for yourself? 1-2 hours? Okay. Yeah, so it's again, 1-2 hours is very rare. If I'm looking at a job and he used to work 2-3 jobs. Okay. So now, when a student comes here, your priority is that, okay, you want to complete the course, but also you have to make the money. Okay. One of the challenging thing which I face or I see with among the international students is, I don't recommend anyone to go with LMI. I don't recommend anyone to change the province. I don't usually recommend anyone to learn French. The reason is, practically, sir, it's very difficult to learn the language without a commitment. So learning a language, if you have a hobby, so I speak 7 languages. I learned French in my school days, but now my daughter is teaching me the French because she is going to the bilingual school. But now when I attempted last time, I got NCLC level 3. Okay, so I studied till 10th, then now I'm learning it, but again, I did not prepare well. And to be honest, I'm not at all ashamed, but say that CLB, like NCLC level 3, I got it. If I put my at least 4 to 5 months, I study for at least 5 to 6 hours a day, I may reach to NCLC level 5. Now the point is, your PR will only get possible through Francophone pathway if you are sitting on NCLC level 7. Okay, so when I'm saying NCLC level 7, that is basic, your English level if I'm looking into, the proficiency what you had when you applied for your study permit. So you speak, read, write, everything under NCLC level 7. Without a commitment, without having a time, or without dedicating yourself that, okay, no, I'm gonna spend my 6 months where I'm gonna listen French music or French movies, or I will be only communicating in French, it is not possible. So yes, sir, French is really good option to get a PR right now in Canada. If someone noticed that last 3 consecutive draw was under the French. But Conservative Party, if comes, they support. So right now, let me tell you a little bit political, okay? It can be controversial, but still, okay? Right now, if you look into from last 1.5 years, all the regulations or the changes, what Liberal Party is trying to impose, that is the idea of Conservative Party. So it is political, where Conservative was saying that no, we don't want particular community here, we are against, we want to support Canadians. What Liberal Party did is, preparing for their election, they already said that okay, we are also in the same way. So now when they are going for the voters, they are also saying that we also want the same thing. We want to support Canadians, we want to support Canadian business, and we want to support Francophone community. Politics. But yes, if you are studying in Canada, I would say that time get enrolled for French. Okay? I'm not saying during the work permit, because again, once you enter into a work permit, you are running like a horse. Like, okay, you want to get your PR, you have to pay your loans, you have to meet your bills. May not be possible that you can put that kind of dedication, but at least when students tell me that, okay, they are not getting a job, I would say, good for you. Try to put that time for your English proficiency or now French proficiency, but I would say, to be honest, in my clientele, there is no French. Because I personally do not recommend students to focus on that, because if they try to focus on that and if they cannot able to attain NCLC level 7, it's complete waste of time, money and efforts. But if you get CLB 9 and you have a TS 0, 1, 2, 3, you can try to attain a PR with a specific time limit. But yes, French is something highly recommended due to the current immigration policy. Yes?
Maybe one clarification there is, I was looking at it from the angle that let's assume that the person is able to learn French. So given that the person is able to learn, how will it help in terms of, like, I'm not looking at the constraints you put. Assume that the person is able to learn French and it is an additional qualification available.
Yes.
Is it going to be helpful, or is it a pure waste?
It's a wonderful option. So first thing, professionally, you can get more jobs. If you have French on your resume, you can get more jobs. Even in call centers, if you're looking into who speak French, they can get higher wages. One. Second thing, if you are NCLC level 5, okay, and your work permit is about to expire, you get NCLC level 5, you're still trying for NCLC level 7. If you have NCLC level 5 and you have a full-time job offer with you, you can extend your work permit for up to 2 years. Third, if you can get NCLC level 7, then definitely you're looking for a PR. Even if someone came after 12th, having a CLB 8, even get a PR easily if you have an NCLC level 7. So right now, French is a very good motive and the pathway to get a PR, but yes, it needs dedication. But please, anyone who's trying for French, improve your English first. I would humbly request that, because if you are dedicating your 4 hours for French, at least dedicate your 1 hour for preparing for IELTS, CELPIP or PT, because that is going to boost your CRS, and then French will come play the role where you can get easy PR through one pathway. But if you have a good English, you have multiple pathways. Sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
I have a question.
What's your name?
Ria.
Ria, yes, Ria.
Is express entry score will change based on the province? For example, no?
No. So express entry, sorry to cut you. You can ask your question
For
first.
example, if I am calculating express entry score in Ontario, and suppose if I am go to Alberta or in province, does it change?
No. So simple. Express entry is a federal program. You apply from Ontario, from Toronto, you apply from Nova Scotia, you apply from Alberta, you apply from India, you apply from South Africa. Doesn't matter. Express entry is only based upon your age. 4 factors are most important in express entry: your age, your education, your experience, and your English proficiency. So if you fulfill these 4 criteria, you can be in any part of the world. So even the person who is outside Canada get the PR through express entry. The only thing is, if you are in Canada, you can have extra points for CEC, Canadian Experience Class. You can have extra points for your studies. You can look for an employment, which is right now there is no points for that, but you can find an employer who can support with other pathways.
Sir, if I am calculating the...
Call me Vishnu. Call me Vishnu.
If I am calculating the express entry point, if I am adding my spouse, then it will decrease my points.
Good question. Now, let me tell you, this is the myth. Okay? Now, let me ask you, did you added your spouse IELTS?
Yeah.
Okay, did you added his education?
Yes.
Okay, what is his education level?
Masters.
Masters, and what is his IELTS?
I actually.
What you put there?
I just.
666?
No, some are 6, some are 7. Like
Okay,
that.
6. Okay, so now. Okay, really good question. Let me explain you that. Okay. So now, when we are looking into, so there are 3 kind of application in Express Entry. Single, that means never married, divorced, widow, those kind of category. Second is family, that means you and your spouse both going together. And third one is something called as unaccompanied spouse PR. That means one person is going, but the spouse is not included in that application. Right now we are talking about the second pathway. It's a family application. In family application, the spouse contribute 40 points. Okay, so out of 40 points, 20 points is for the IELTS. Okay, 10 point is for the education, and rest 10 point is for the Canadian work experience. But for example, if you create your profile as an unaccompanied spouse and your score is 505, okay, and your spouse did masters and he got CLB 8, listening 7.5, rest all 6.5. If you are sitting on 505, the score will come down to 503, 2 points difference. But at the same time, if the spouse, usually what I've seen is, it's a male gene. So again, I also included myself into that. We can work for 24/7, but please don't tell us to study. so we have that kind of gene in us, okay? So what I see a most common thing, a problem with adding a spouse is, like girls, women, you guys are good in studies. I know, if you decide you can get CLB 9, 10. But for us to write an IELTS exam, like I said, when I come here, I have a stage anxiety. It takes some time to go over that. And same thing, most of the guys, they don't want to appear for IELTS. When they don't write IELTS, that is directly 20 points minus. So now, for example, if you're sitting on 505, you add your spouse after he do IELTS and WES, 2 to 3 point difference coming. If he don't do IELTS, your score will directly go to 480 range. So now you see the huge dip in the score because the spouse is not ready to do IELTS. Second thing, if WES is not done, out of 10, so if he has masters, he contribute 9 points. But for example, when you call some immigration firm or when you see reels, it basically says that you add your spouse and you lose the point. No one even tells the spouse to do the WES. Because
I also have masters.
Yeah. You have masters?
From India.
Okay, how many years of experience?
2.
2 years of experience. Here, do you have experience?
No Canadian experience, but I studied 2 courses.
2 courses, okay. Do you have an experience?
No
Okay.
field job experience.
Any other tier 0, 1 to 3 job? Any tier 0, 1 to 3?
No, tier 5.
Tier 5, okay, done. So for example, now if we take her case, she have masters. She is having 2 years of experience from back home. If she have a 1 year of Canadian work experience, and if she have French, and your age is less than 30 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, done. Sorry. That's very offensive, but sorry for that. So her score is sitting around 512 points. Do you know that? You're sitting around 512. If you have CLB 9 and 1 year of Canadian work experience in any tier 0, 1, 2, 3. So even if you add your spouse, you may go around 510 points. Do you know what was the last year lowest score? Last year lowest score? 507. So if it was last year, you would have got a PR. Got it?
But I need experience in tier 0, 1 or.
So now you have to pay the bills. You have to pay the bills. Like you have a paisa, namakku rent in paisa pay cheyanam, phone bill in paisa pay cheyanam, right? You are having masters. Nammal nokna jolly engante jolly ana. We really wanted to get somewhere like manager, supervisor, right? So professionally, it is required. Are you etra paisa elavaki 2 varsha course na pinnalena? Did you ever calculate anyone? Did a
40,000 plus Gs.
Okay, so 40,000. Okay, George is very accurate with numbers always. Okay, 40 plus 10, 50, right? What is your 1 month expenses? Like a living expense? 1,600. Let's keep round figure 1,500. Okay, for example, if someone studied for 16 months, 1500 into 16. Anyone can do fast calculation? 15,000 into 16 months. Anyone? 240, okay? So almost like 24,000, okay? Your living expenses 24,000. So 40,000 tuition fees, 10,000 GIC, and 24,000 living expense. Total is 74. We just consider that as divided by 2, okay, right now. It will get you lakhs, Indian rupees, okay? You have spent, congratulations, you have spent around 36 lakh Indian rupees. Now tell me, after spending 36 lakh, if you had it back home, you might have your own house. You might be just living on the interest what you're getting from the bank, okay? Now, if you're spending this much of money, the humble request to every international student is, try not to sacrifice your dreams because someone is telling you you will not get a PR. You have masters, you have experience also. How much time you have spent behind your resume? Resume, build.
Very less.
Very less, right? You know, that one piece of paper, that is the whole thing when you're going with the interview. And unfortunately, our community just treat that as a piece of paper. And do you know how much a professional resume writer can charge you for building a resume? Anyone? Any idea? Any guesses? One resume to build, how much a professional resume writer can charge you? Okay, $750 to $1,500. Okay, and you know why? Because when you are applying for a job, that one piece of paper is overshadowing everything. If someone completed a degree with no experience, have a good resume, he or she will get a job faster. So 2 things from this question. 1, PR is possible, but again, focus on your resume. Do some trick and tricks. LinkedIn, other things are there, but again, spend your time behind that. But please, by the time you write an IELTS CELPIP for your postgraduate work permit, try to get CLB 9. Aim for CLB 9. Because like I said, she is sitting around 512 points. Now you tell me how many people you know in your surrounding whose score is more than 500.
Very less.
Got it? And there you are sitting. You don't even need to change the province. You don't need to worry about anything if you get a job.
For my job, I am working as a cashier in Walmart. So if I
Change the job.
But if I have 1 year of experience, there is a chance for getting promotion as a customer service representative. That role is, I think, tier 0 or 2.
It is tier 3. It's a retail sales supervisor. But now, after 1 year, if you don't get it, I don't want to be sarcasm, but again.
I am trying for other job also.
Yes, now you got that, okay? Why I asked you that question is, that is very important that, okay, you're working in Walmart, okay, you are very positive that you can get a promotion, but you have, like, what's your background?
Computer science.
Computer science, okay?
Master of Technology in
Master of
Computer
Technology. Try to apply in Cognizant.
Science.
Cognizant, it's a call center. Try to apply there.
Which position?
It's like a customer representative, but that fall under 22221, user support technician. It's a call center job, but it has a very high that, okay, you will be getting a good pay as well as you will be somewhere linked with your own profession. Same thing, make your resume strong. You have an experience, you did masters, you're working in Walmart, professionally you're sacrificing yourself. So improve your resume, try to apply other places. Try not to believe that after 1 year I will get a promotion, because now for you, you complete your 1 year, now you need 1 year of experience. We are talking about 2027, okay? Now, just statistics wise, 2023, you know what was the lowest score for express entry? 2023? 481. 481, okay? You know what was the lowest score for last year? 507, okay? This year, till now, you know what's the lowest score? 521, okay? You're talking about 2027. You got the answer.
So is there any chance for increasing this score in future?
It is high chance that even express entry can be taken down if conservative comes. The express entry was an innovation of Liberal Party, okay? At that point, when the Liberal Party came, they introduced a lot of things. They take off the other pathway. 10 years back, so if not 10 years, like I would say 20 years back, there was a time you come to Canada on a work permit or you just enter, and you can just have a basic experience of degree and individual 6, and you can apply for PR.
Sir, I have a confusion about the VES. So, do I need to do VES in bachelor's and master's? Or
You just need for highest education, masters.
My husband studied masters in Germany, so he also do masters.
Yeah,
in
but I would always recommend to do the VES for education evaluation for both. The reason for that is I have noticed if you just do for the highest qualification, sometime it come as a degree or a postgraduate. But when you add both of them, then the evaluator may look into your past education and he consider this education as a surplus. So it has highest chances to get a master's equivalency.
So it's better to do in both.
Yes, recommended, but again, even one is fine.
Vishnu, I have a question.
Yeah.
Right now, many are moving to OINP express entries.
Mhm.
Many who have bachelors in India or they did post-grad diploma here, and many who completed +2 and came here, they are moving to OINP express entries now. So many got PR in OINP skilled trade stream. They have no bachelors, but many who have no bachelors, they are planning for OINP human capital priority health occupations,
Mhm.
moving to PSW 33102, and many don't even have a certification PSW, but 33102 I think on-job training is enough. But is it possible for them to get the PR?
Nice question. Once again, thank you, George. So now, when we are talking about the not like express entry based PNPs, okay? In Ontario, there are 3 different sort of streams are there. So 2 of the stream which he already told. One is human capital priority stream, which only do the invitations to if you are under the financial, if you are under the IT, or if you are under the healthcare. Human capital priority stream, the only eligibility criteria is you need to have a continuous 1 year of experience in last 5 years. So for example, now she have a master's. If she could have a 3 years of experience from back home, she would have got a PR by this point. The last year human capital draw was around 458, 460 points around. Got it? So you don't even need a Canadian work experience if you are going under the human capital priority stream. If someone is a dental nurse from back home, even if your score is 400, I would say create a profile. Because under the human capital, last year lower score was around 350, 360 points. I had a client who was studying first year program in Conestoga. In her second semester, she got an invitation for the human capital priority stream. She had a 3 years of experience back home. Her age was 37. So 37, nursing background, 3 years of experience, and CLB, I believe not even 9, it was CLB 8 around. And she was a student in Canada, and she got into human capital priority stream. Human capital priority stream needed degree, okay? If we are looking into second stream, that is a skilled trade worker stream, you don't need a degree. In skilled trade, you need continuous 1 year of experience under the skilled trade. The knock code starts from 72, 73, 82, 83, 92, 93. If you go through this one, you need continuous 1 year of experience. Minimum wage is also fine. You get 600 points. And the third one is French speaking. So Francophone PNP is also there where you can go and get a PR. But answer to your question, if you have a degree, human capital priority stream is a good option to go. Last year lower score was 300, like 650, 60 point. Usually it's very low, always, around less than 450. This year we can expect around 450. But skilled trade is also good, where the usual draw last year happened around 400 to 430. And French, it's a awesome.
No need of employer support.
No, nothing.
Just expenses.
Yes, so express entry PNP, the one of the most important thing is, you just need experience letter. You do not need any other support from the employer. You just need experience letter. You're creating a profile under the CEC. Whenever the draw will come, Ontario will invite you to say that, okay, if you are interested, apply for the PNP and you can get 600 points.
Yeah, to add on, I did an advanced diploma here in Canada, so will I be eligible on that?
Not under human capital priority stream. Human capital priority stream definitely need 4-year degree
4 years.
or 3-year degree. The degree is important. If you did advanced diploma, unfortunately,
Because it
PNP.
comes at the same under the CRS calculation.
Yeah, but
Not for
CRS, yes, but when you look into the eligibility for the PNP,
education requirement.
yeah, so that they need degree. I have seen cases where they got a refusal, so that's why I'm 100% sure on that, that for the human capital priority stream, you need to have a degree in Canada.
4 years degree.
Yeah, 4-year degree, 3-year degree is also fine, but degree is compulsory.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
My name is Jacob. So I started my Canadian journey by doing a mechanical engineering 3-year program. I've transitioned from then to healthcare. So my question right now is my work permit expires later this year, so I'm one of those people that has an expiring work permit. So I was told that one of my few options is that I need 6 months minimum experience in the healthcare industry to actually be able to apply to Express Entry or PMP programs. So in case, let's say if I only have 5 months left in my work permit, would I still be able to apply for my PR and still work through an applied status? Or is there any other options for me?
Okay. Can you tell me, if you don't mind,
Yeah, go for it.
your age,
I'm 25, turned 25 like 2 months ago.
your highest qualification back home?
I came here after +2.
+2. I can feel your pain.
Thank you.
3 years. Third, your education in Canada?
My education in Canada, I did my 3-year program in mechanical engineering
Advanced
technology.
diploma?
And I also did my PSW program, but that was during my work permit.
Oh yeah, that's fine. But again, you did 3-year advanced diploma.
Yeah.
Okay. How many years of experience you have?
Roughly around 1.5 to 2 years of experience, but not continuously in one job.
That's fine. You can mix that. Okay. Now the fourth question is, what is your CLB?
I got 8.5.
Okay. You need to get CLB 9.
So it'll be like,
Okay. If you get that, you are sitting around 480, 500 range if you have a 2 years of experience.
actually, question regarding that. I got a 9 for my speaking, 8.5 for my listening. My writing's at 7.5 and my reading's also at 7. I kind of slipped the ball there. So would I just have to get an 8 or 8.5 for both of those? Like
Speaking, you need 8.
I got 9. So
You
that's
got 9.
Yeah.
Rest all need to be 7. You are already on then CLB 10 range.
Oh, okay.
The way you said that,
I
did you
was
created
good.
your profile?
No,
Express-
I haven't. That's the thing. I'm very
Why?
late for this.
Why?
Why? That's a good question. I don't have a good answer for you.
Okay, so now let me tell you.
Yeah.
You might have heard that because you have 12 from back home, you are not meeting the express entry, right?
Yeah.
Now let me break that ice there. You have more points than anyone else who have a degree from back home.
Oh.
Now let me summarize you for that, okay? Now if someone have a degree from back home, the person get 120 points in express entry, okay? Even after degree, then the person come here, no experience, did 1 or 2 year program, the individual get 8 point extra, plus 15 points for the Canadian education. So like 120 plus 7, 120 like 8 point, 128 points, plus 15 points. 142 points a person get if a person do have a degree from back home, 1 or 2 years of education in Canada, okay? Now you are there where you did a 3-year advanced diploma, okay? You get 80 points, like 80 points for your, you get 120 points for your highest qualification.
Okay.
Plus you get 30 points for your studies in Canada. So you're sitting around 120 plus 30, 150. You are having more score than even someone came after degree from back home because they contribute 142, 43 points, you contribute 150 points. And on
I'm
top
glad
of,
I came now.
and you already have 1.5 years of experience. So as of today, if you create a profile, you're sitting around 470 range. But once you complete your 2nd years of education, experience, you're sitting around 490, 500 range.
And that's still possible even though my work permit is expiring and like. That's
But
5
now
months.
the point is, did you completed your 2 years of education, experience, or you left the job?
No. So the thing is, I just started my healthcare job very recently.
Okay,
About
what is that job?
It's a PSW.
PSW, 3310102?
Yeah,
PSW, right?
PSW.
Done. How many years of experience? So, can you please break down your Canadian experience?
I worked as a tooling coordinator, mechanical job administration level. I worked there for 6 months.
Okay.
After that, I worked as a marketing coordinator as a marketing salesman position for about 9 months.
Okay.
After which, I also did a summer internship, but it's also like a full-time job at a Honda manufacturing facility.
Okay, so I just need the experience from the time you applied for your work permit.
Oh, from the time I applied for
Work permit.
Oh,
So from that day onwards only the CEC experience is counted. So before that, even if you have co-op internship, unfortunately that is not going to consider under CEC. From the day you submit your work permit application, your experience will start counted. So yeah, please.
Okay. And then after that, I only worked some certain like minimal healthcare jobs for like 4 months. Now I've started my official PSW, like a full-time job recently.
Okay, so now you mentioned that you had a 4 months of casual jobs.
Yeah.
Healthcare.
Yeah.
33102?
Yeah.
How many hours?
It was a part-time bit.
How many hours?
Yeah. So
10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours, 7 hours
per week,
per week?
I'd say around 8 hours every day, 5 days a week.
Man, that is 40 hours.
Much.
That is 40 hours.
No, I know, but like it's still considered part-time in that field apparently.
Okay, now let me just explain one more thing, buddy. You would have got a PR last year. Okay, 463 was the cutoff for healthcare draw. Okay, now you had a 6 months of experience, then you had a 9 months of experience, which make 15 months. Then for express entry, even though your title is casual, part-time, full-time, contract, doesn't matter. If you are working for 30 hours per week, that is a full-time job for immigration. So now 15 plus 4, that is making around like 19, and you definitely have more than 4 months of experience. So congratulations, you already completed 2 years of experience.
Thank you. Actually, just one more question. So the recent job that I got is actually a permanent part-time position, but it's a guaranteed 30 hours per week, so it's still considered?
Doesn't matter.
Oh.
So now, like I said, you can be casual,
Okay.
like casual shift, okay? In healthcare, you don't usually get a permanent position because now organization has to give you the allowances. But again, you get hours. Again, PSW, man, being a nurse, I know, I even don't want to take a shift and I get a call every day that, okay, now there is a shift available, okay? So even if you're casual, but you are working for 30 hours per week, for immigration it's a full-time job. So right now, if you try to create your profile, again, do by yourself. Okay, let me ask you one thing. How many people are here who applied for a work permit by themselves? You see, almost everyone applied by themselves. But when it comes to express entry, what do you think? Can you able to apply by yourself?
This might be a wrong perspective, but I always consider, just because of what other people say, that permanent residence, applying to permanent residence is a bit more complicated.
Okay.
So
Why didn't you thought when you applied for work permit? Why you took a risk?
because I'm dumb, I don't know.
You see that? That's a confidence. Like people try to, man, people don't know who Jacob is, right?
Yeah.
You know that, okay, man, if you can apply for a work permit, why don't you try to create your express entry profile? Why you wanted to pay someone, including me? If even for the consultation, someone comes to me and says, sir, I did engineering, I did IT, and now I need to create a profile. The first question I ask them is, did you even try for the creating a profile? You watched the movie, recent Imran?
Yeah.
Successfully, you wasted your 3 hours.
Yes.
You could have spent that time behind your creating a profile, man.
Almost wish I did.
You got it? So again, Jacob, to a humble request to you, man, if possible, go home. While going, when you reach home, order a pizza, biryani, whatever you like. Open on Google how to create express entry profile. Do by yourself. And like I said, you're looking somewhere around 490, 500 points with a score what you have told me. Create your profile. If you have any difficulty, Google it. Okay, no, I'm not getting out. Like mostly people make mistake in the education part where it say, did you had a full-time, more than 50% of education in English? Everyone say yes. You have to say no there. You will see that question there.
Okay.
It's a little bit tricky, but most of the individuals make a mistake there where it say more than, like education part, it's asked for, yeah, so more than 50% of education in English, you have to select no there. Only that is the one tricky part where mostly international students feel that, no, I'm not meeting the points. But if you, rest than that, tell me, Jacob, who knows better than you about yourself?
My mother. But no,
She also don't know about your girlfriend.
no.
Okay. Okay. So you are the person who know about everything. Okay. Create a profile, brother, today, because like I said, there would be a healthcare draw will be coming. In healthcare draw, the 4 months where you worked, like you said, that casual, but you worked for 40 hours, that is considered, and you're current, you have more than 6 months of experience in healthcare. You have 2 options. One, express entry, if the score drop. But second one, you should be looking forward this year. You should be getting an invitation for sure for under the healthcare draw.
Okay.
Don't even wait. Go create your profile.
Got it.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
All the best, man. All the best.
So to add on, like, how does a vacation count in between? Like, to add on
Unemployment.
Unemployment. So for like a 1 month vacation, so
Definitely unemployment. If you had a 1 week or 2 weeks of vacation, you had some sick leave for 4 days, 5 days, that is fine. That is going to consider as a employment. But when you have more than 2 weeks of vacation, unfortunately the entire period go under the vacation. You need to work for 1 more month.
1 month extra month.
But again, you can create your profile in 12th month. Do you know that? You don't need to complete 1 year completely to create a profile. Someone started working, for example, in last April. That particular individual could have created a profile in this March. But the tricky part is, if you get an invitation, you still have to wait until you complete your 1 year of experience. So you can create a profile, but you cannot do a submission. I have a lot of approvals, like even Eben, he's one of the living witness. He only studied for 1 year. So again, after 1 year also, like people say that you get only 1 year of work permit. What if I challenge you that you get more than 1 year of work permit? And even you study for 2 years, you could have got more than 3 years of work permit. Everyone. Anyone wanted to see how? Okay? Okay, who say yes? Okay, now, which month, okay, which intake you passed out?
Last August.
Last August 2024, okay? You applied for your work permit in which month?
On
September you applied, 2020. Yeah. Yeah, your name please?
My name is Ashwin.
Ashwin, yeah. So Ashwin, you passed out in September 2024. August 2024, you applied for your work permit in September 2024.
Yes.
Did you got your work permit?
Yeah.
When you got your work permit?
After 3 weeks.
After 3 weeks?
Yeah.
That's a lucky charm. No one get that fast. But now, in your case, unfortunately, you lose the implied status period.
Yeah.
Okay? Because now, whenever we are looking into express entry, in express entry, the experience will start counted. Like I just asked you, from the time you submit your work permit. If you can submit your work permit, usually international students get that, sir, I submitted my work permit around 7 months back, I'm not getting it. I say, congratulations. Man, that 7 month is a grace period which you have got. So if, unfortunately for you, you got in the same month, but other than that, if someone got 4 months, like you submitted in September, got in December.
Yeah, one of my friend got after 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. So now in their case, their work permit is started from February of 2025 till February of 2028. Okay? So now 3 years plus 6 months. 3.6 months of experience with a 2 year of study. So always try to do one thing, try to apply for a work permit online. There used to be a trend when people used to go to a border. I don't support that.
So I have a question for you. I'm working in 2 jobs. Both of them are part-time. I work as a school bus driver and as a return home driver.
Return home?
Return home bus driver.
Bus driver, okay.
Yeah. So both are comes under 73301. So am I eligible for express entry?
Yeah. Again, any tier 0, 1 to 3 you get qualified. So for example, in your case, you get 15 hours as a first job.
27 hours in school bus and other will be 10 hours, 15 hours.
So like you mix it, you're working for more than 30 hours per week. You need to mention both the experiences, you're good to go with express entry.
Okay. So it's been 6 months after I get my work permit. So after 6 more months, I can apply.
So you started working there from?
Last 1 year.
When you know, but you applied for your work permit in September.
Yes.
Yeah, so this August, you can able to create your express entry profile.
Okay, thank you.
All the best.
Hi Vishnu.
Hi there.
My name is Basil.
Basil. Hi Basil.
I have a question about spousal open work permit extension. I have my visa till next January. So my wife is like student over here. So I need to extend my visa. So what if like she's not able to get a tier 0, tier 1 job before like January? So how can I extend my visa?
So 2 things are there.
Yeah.
1, she has to get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So try to get somehow tier 0 or 1. Where she is working now? Hi. Oh, Walmart. Okay, Walmart. You guys are separating so far. Okay, so she's working in Walmart. So she has to get tier 0, 1 or 2, 3 in selective knockout. If she cannot able to get it till like you have till January, for example, you have 2 options. 1, you can apply for an implied status based upon if she get a job. Okay, but again, definitely then the supervisor job will not work for you. Okay, if you wait for that, you're losing 2 things: your PR and your husband.
I didn't complete my course. My course will complete on
like
this month, right? Yeah. But again, the point is, you have 4 months. Don't wait for Walmart job. Walmart job is gonna take your PR and your husband's work. Okay, so you should try to get a tier 0, 1 or 2, 3 job. Try to search drastically wherever you can able to get. Try to get that, because after January, if she able to secure just a job offer, for example, in January, you can immediately apply for spousal open work permit extension even 1 day before. So for example, your work permit is about to expire on 31st of Jan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you even apply for a work permit on 31st of Jan, you are good. You go on implied status. You can continue work. But for example, if she cannot able to get a job, then you need to apply for a visitor record. Visitor record. Okay, so now you might have heard of visitor visa.
Okay, yeah.
So visa is only possible when you are outside Canada. Visitor record is possible when you are inside Canada.
Okay.
So with a visitor record, you can stay in Canada for 6 months to 1 year, but unfortunately you cannot able to work legally. But you should get a job now. You are under pressure at this point.
But if he applied for spousal extension, then he can work.
Yeah, he can work. It goes on implied status. Okay, so yeah, that's again one of the good question.
Yeah, 6
So
months
now
applied status.
you don't need to get that letter. So that is called as the interim work permit authorization letter. Not everyone will get that. Okay, you submit your application while you are on a permit, you automatically go on implied status. So for example, if you got an interim work permit for 6 months, but now your application is taking 10 months, you can still continue work. Or for example, you submit your work permit application and you have not even received the interim work permit letter, still you can continue work until you get a decision. If it is positive, he can continue work. If it is negative, then you cannot able to work. But again, apply for visitor record immediately so that you can stay in Canada.
So like what she get a job during like implied status period?
Apply for spousal open work permit. Simple. It's a very high approval rate when you apply within Canada. It's called as status change.
So nowadays I heard that PSW job will
Yeah.
get job in Canada. So do I need to study PSW for?
Good question. So 33102 don't need a license. Okay. So as per the immigration, when it goes, that particular job don't need a license. But now the point is, because of the health ministry guidelines, employer have a responsibility to see that whether employee did a certification course or not. So now with the employer perspective, yes, you need to do a certification course, but through an immigration side, in my group home, I have around like 4 engineers working there. So like they were hired in 2022, 2023. That time the ministry was not published that they need to have a healthcare background. So anyone can work. But right now also, if your employer is not getting anyone, you can go and directly work for him.
Okay. Do I need to study PSW?
Yeah. So it's mostly, if you wanted an easy job, you need to have a certification. Otherwise, you have to go to a community which is very rural. He's not getting anyone. In desperation, he will hire you.
Oh, okay.
But again, from immigration point of view, you don't need a license under this particular code.
So if I am getting job in healthcare, then there is no need to submit the background of the health.
So again, you need to look into knock code. So in knock code, when you search, 2 things you have to look into. One is duties, which explain that which is the knock code you're coming in. Second one is employment requirement. So if that say you need a certification in Ontario, then yes, you need it. But if you say no, you don't need it. 33102 definitely don't need it.
Vishnu, I got 2 questions.
Yeah.
One is healthcare office administration considered as healthcare? It is not.
It's a white collar job. It's an office job. So healthcare, if you notice the knock codes, those are the knock codes which directly having a one-on-one care. Unfortunately, healthcare administration just have a name of healthcare, but other than that, you are not working with the client.
What if your job duties include giving vaccinations and probably taking care of something for the patient?
Then you are not a health administrator. Then you are technically going under the vaccination, like a IV, that comes under the license job. Otherwise, you have to go through under the 33102.
And another question that I've had is when I applied for my work permit, I don't know if there's something, a mistake from my side or like a mistake from the IRS. You said the application I got was applied from outside the country. So even though my work permit was approved, I was able to get it only when I got through the border again, only when I went back to India and came back. So even though I finished my school in September, I got my work permit in March. So the time period in between September and March, when I had already had an approved work permit but did not get it in my hand, is the work that I did at that duration considered?
You submitted, again, if you submitted inland application, postgrad open work permit properly, then your experience will start from September onwards. But again, I'm not sure about why you got a visa. Because you usually get a visa if you apply that saying that you are outside Canada. So once again, I need to see the documentation to come in better, but don't have an exact answer for that. But call CIC, they will answer you that. Pardon?
We can put up a story
Or then we can go on live in next 1 hour. Oh, yeah, let's do one thing. Put your questions there. In next 1.5 hour, we can do Instagram or YouTube live. So let's go with Instagram live in next 1 hour. all the questions you are putting there, we will start to give you the answer right away, okay? So that the church thing will not be influenced. Okay, all good? Okay, anyone have some urgent questions? They can just come out so I can just have a talk for 10-15 minutes. But definitely the YouTube live would be the detailed one, okay? Anything else, bro?
Vishnu, what's the immigration fact for the day?
Nice one, man. Nice one. I like it. I like it. What's the immigration fact? Should we give some? What's that? Okay. PR is possible. Okay. It all depends upon the knowledge level or the understanding. So, like I said, if Jake is there or if anyone, you guys are there, PR is still possible in Canada. If anyone telling you PR is not possible, just ask one question to them. Okay, how many PR pathways are there? Or just ask them that, okay, why express entry PR is not possible? Or just ask them simple, what was the last express entry draw? They will tell you, and we live in that community where people make us believe that we are a failure. No one wanted to see you happy except your parents, best friends, and the community like this. So please, if someone tell you that, if it is not possible, they are just talking about themselves, not about you. Do good, man. And like I said, if you have something, share with others. That's the only way we can live happily in the community right now. Okay? Thank you, bro. That's nice. Thank you. And they, Parnil?
One question. Many already left Canada.
Okay.
They are in India or the other countries, and they are planning for entering into category-based roles, and they're working as a welding machine operator, PSW in their country. So what do you think their chance?
Best thing. I tell everyone, so whoever approach me, so mostly people approach me as a last option. And that's one reason is my consultation fees. Trust me, I know. So, but again, like I said, it's a family-owned business, so I don't have that much of time to spend behind, so that's why we keep a little bit premium so that our consultation will be limited. But to every CAN family member, I always tell one thing, that if your work permit is about to expire, don't stick here. Without job, living in Canada, it's like you are basically breaking your finances. Once your work permit is done, so if anyone there, or if your friends are there, or if anyone watching us, go back to India, get 6 months of work experience under the category-based express entry draw. So for example, if you have any background, you can even go into in India, like if you are looking into Cochin side, there are daycares. You can go and work there as a daycare instructor. In India, you don't need a license. Okay, so now the best thing is, in Canada, it needs a license, but in India, it doesn't need a license. Same thing, welder, painter, tile setter. I don't think to getting a job like that would be difficult there. Go work there for 6 months, get proper experience letter, proper bank deposits, create your express entry profile, just wait for the draw.
One more thing. As we all know, when Ford announced the Ontario election, and the election is already done, and they came to power again, but till now there is no OINP draw. What is your view on that?
It's political. So even like she said that about the express entry, political. You remember there was a 75, like a TR to PR? 75 draw. You know what's the peculiarity of that year? That was election year, 2021. Okay? The election was completed and the result was declared in September end. And for next 1 year, there was no draw. Okay? Always remember, economy, political, and immigration in Canada works hand in hand. So if it's not like, okay, now the new election came and that's why the Ontario is not doing the PNP draws. It's basically because whole immigration part is hauled down at this point. It will back up, but like I said, either the Liberal Party will be re-winning or they will be losing. If you want to get your PR, work in healthcare, agriculture, transportation. If you want to learn French, you can learn French. But if you have a good employer, you're good to go. You don't need to worry about anything else. Okay? Good? Good. Good. Okay, bro. So everyone, at 2:30, we will be coming live on our YouTube page. So it's CAN Immigration Services. Just Google it. You will find it. We will be there. But yeah.